Hi and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 6. Our topic is about expectation gap in audit. Hi, my name is Muhammad Amir Shaufi bin Ilwan Shah. Today, I will explain to you about what is the expectation gap in audits. The audit expectation gap AEG is the persistence difference between what public expect auditors do and what are actually auditors legally required to do. SCCA emphasized that this is not just about misunderstanding, but also about legitimate public concern and evolving expectation of audit works. In other words, the public expect auditors to do more. For example, to prevent all corporate failure or detect all fraud. But in the audit standard and practice do not require to do all of that. In reality, auditors are only can provide reasonable assurance, not absolute certainty. And auditors focus on assessing whether the financial statements are free from material misstatement. Therefore, there are three examples of expectation of gaps. First, knowledge gap. Second, performance gap. And third is evolution gap.
Hi, my name is Tengku Hafiz bin Tengku Haryadi. Today, I'll be discussing about the arguments that usually arises regarding this topic. First, it's not just a public misunderstanding. Historically, some argued that the gap was mainly caused by the public's lack of knowledge about what auditors actually do. ICCA disagrees with this narrow view. While there is a knowledge gap, it doesn't cancel out public concern. Even if people misunderstand audit scope, their expectations about audit performance and evolutions still matter and reflect legitimate concerns.
My name is Muhammad Danish Haikal, and now I will present the second point of the argument, which is audit evolution against the current standard. First of all, we need to look on the argument itself, which is state that whether the audit should stay focused on historical financial accuracy or either to evolve to meet the wider expectation such as fraud detection, preventing of failure, and also provide forward-looking risk insight to the client. ACCA also argues that the audit should evolve carefully, closing knowledge and also performance gaps with regulator, firms, preparers, and also users jointly prepare for the future of the audit. At this point, I will explain on three interlinked gaps, which is first of all the knowledge gap that exists in the audit profession, that explain on the misunderstanding of what auditor really do in their profession. Next, we have the performance gap, which is a difference between the required standard and also the quality of audit itself in doing their practice. And lastly, we have also the evolution gap, which is a mismatch between current audit responsibilities and also rising public expectation from other people.
Now, I'm going to explain about appropriate analysis of audit expectation gap. For the first analysis is the analysis of the knowledge gap. This gap exists because many users of financial statement do not fully understand the auditor's role. The public expect that the auditor to detect all fraud, preventing business failure, and to provide absolute assurance. But in reality, auditors are only provide reasonable assurance that the financial statement are free from material misstatement. This misunderstanding will lead to the disappointment and blame after company fails from receive an unmodified audit opinion. Now, for the second analysis is the analysis of the performance gap. The performance gap arises when auditors fail to perform their duties in accordance with auditing professional standard, or maybe audit quality is perceived to be weak. For example, high-profile corporate scandal increase public criticism and create impression that the auditor are ineffective. Unlike the knowledge gap, this gap is more serious because it reflects actual shortcoming in audit practice and must be addressed through stronger regulation and improved audit quality. Now for the last analysis is the analysis of evolution gap. The evolution gap happens when public expectation change faster than audit standard. Today, stakeholders expect the auditor to address issues like fraud prevention, corporate governance, and sustainability reporting. However, traditional audits focus mainly on historical financial information, creating a mismatch between expectation and auditors' responsibilities. Now we move to the evaluation of the audit expectation gap. For the first evaluation is the evaluation of the knowledge gap. It weakens public confidence in audit profession, as auditors are often blamed when corporate failure occur despite the compliance with auditing standard. However, this gap can be reduced through better communication and education, such as clear audit reports, enhanced explanation of auditor responsibility, and the inclusion of key audit matters. For the second evaluation is the evaluation of the performance gap. It is most critical and justifiable part of the expectation gap, as it reflects actual shortcoming in audit practice rather than misunderstanding. This gap can be reduced by strengthening audit regulation, enhancing auditor independence, improving training, and enforcing stricter quality control. Unlike knowledge gap, this performance gap can be and should be minimized, as auditors are accountable for meeting professional standards. Last but not least is the evaluation of the evolution gap. It presents both a challenge and opportunity for the audit profession. While it is unrealistic to expect auditor to immediately meet all emerging expectations, failure to adapt may reduce by relevance audit. ACCE suggests that continuous development of audit standard, expansion of assurance services, and greater use of technology can help to narrow this gap. However, expanding auditor role must be balanced against cost, liability, and feasibility consideration.
My name is Ahmad Syami Asif bin Husni, and I will explain about conclusion and recommendation. So for the conclusion, to summarize, the audit expectation gap (AEG) is a persistent problem derived by three factors. First, misunderstanding, which is knowledge gap. Second, deficient problem and standard, which is performance gap. And lastly, the pace of change, which is evaluation gap. The gap will never fully eliminated, but it must be managed to maintain the profession's social license to operate. So next, I will explain about recommendation. So first recommendation is to improve communication, which is knowledge gap. Audit group or regulator need to teach the public what an audit can and cannot do. Auditor should write the report clearly and specific to the company, instead of just using the same old template for everyone. So for the second recommendation, broaden the audit mandate for the evaluation gap. Auditor should start checking more than just money. They need to verify things like how a company treat the environment, how safe their computer system are, because that is what people want to know. And for the last recommendation is to enhance professional skepticism for performance gap. Implement mandatory training and quality control review focusing on challenging management assumption in high judgment area, like fair value and estimate in financial statement. That's all from us. Thank you.